This video chronicles the journey of House Bill 355 in the 2017 legislative session. The bill revises laws related to school district transportation. The House Transportation Committee had the first crack at the bill, which it passed out of committee on Valentine's Day. 2 days later, it was debated on the floor of the House.
Members of the committee, you have before you for your consideration House Bill 355, Representative Shaw. Clerk, will you read the title of the bill? We have no more amendments, do we? Clerk, will you read the title of the bill?
Mr. Chair, House Bill number 355, introduced by Shaw, a bill for enacting Title Act including certain vehicles and the definition of school bus, clarifying license requirements for drivers of certain vehicles, adding school transportation reimbursement from certain vehicles, amending sections, providing an effective date. Mr. Chair.
What is your pleasure, Representative Shaw?
Mr. Chairman, I move that when this committee does rise and report after having had under consideration House Bill 355, that it recommend the same do pass.
Representative Shaw.
House members, this is something I've been working on or helping work on for approximately 2 years, and what we call it is flexibility in transportation. It came up in more than one district in my House district. We're using great big buses from 49 to 60 passenger buses to transport 2 kids, which just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. This bill has the advantage of being more efficient for school districts, and it also carries the advantage of saving taxpayers the cost of running a larger bus to accomplish what a smaller vehicle can do. The most important thing we looked at was the safety issue. Our students first and foremost need to be safe, and these vehicles that we can use will accomplish that. Mr. Chairman.
Is there discussion? Representative Swanson. Representative Swanson waves off. Representative Grubbs.
Mr. Chairman, speak to the bill. House Bill 355 is a good bill. It gives small rural districts flexibility. As Representative from Dillon's, or actually Sheridan, said, he sees a lot of the small school districts in his district are going around with 2, 3, 4 kids. When taxpayers see those 50 passenger buses passing with 3 kids, they aren't real happy. So I would point out on the description of fiscal impact in the fiscal note, the last sentence, the costs associated with this bill could save the state general fund up to $1 million.
After passing the House on second and third reading, 100-0, House Bill 355 heads to the Senate, where leadership assigns it to the Senate Highways and Transportation Committee.
And we're going to start with House Bill 355. Representative Shaw, would you like to present your bill, please?
My name is Ray Shaw. I am the representative for House District 71, which is all of Madison County, part of Jefferson, and part of Silverboat County. Today I bring before you House Bill 355. We kind of started talking about this in some of the local districts where I live probably a couple of years ago. Beaver Head County is the largest county in the state. Madison County is the 4th largest county. And for us to have to run big buses for 3 or 4 students is just not financially responsible. Mr. Chairman, I'll sit and let proponents and opponents speak. And I ask to close on the bill. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative Shaw. We will run the hearing in this manner. We'll hear from proponents first, then opponents, then informational witnesses. There's a sign-up sheet at the back. I would ask that everybody sign up for the bill that they're going to be testifying on, and unless you want to buy us some treats, you might want to turn off your cell phones. With that, we'll open it up to proponents.
Mr. Chairman,
Thank you.
Committee, my name is Fred Hoffman, H-O-F-M-A-N. I am the school superintendent at Harrison Public School. This bill was developed after a motion from the Harrison School Board of Trustees that was brought to the Montana School Boards Association. And after a lengthy process, all the school board in the state of Montana got together in October of last year Trustees, probably from every one of your districts, were there, discussed this bill and voted unanimously to support this. Encourage you to support the bill. Know that we went to great lengths to make sure that safety was there and covered. And we're not asking to do anything that we can't already do. We're just asking for some reimbursement in the process. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Hoffman. Further proponents?
Mr. Chair, members of the committee, my name is Pat Audette, and I'm the Associate Director at School Administrators of Montana.
Could you spell your last name, please?
That is A-U-D-E-T.
Thank you.
First of all, we'd like to thank Representative Shaw for carrying this bill. SAM supports HB 355 because it allows the flexibility and efficiency in the use of a safe vehicle to transport students. I'm going to be very brief the rest of the way, for previous proponents did an excellent job describing the necessity of this bill, which is wonderful. As you've heard from one of our members in their real life scenario, Superintendent Hoffman pointed out things rather well. Many of our rural schools will find use of such vehicles to be more cost effective and safe for transporting smaller numbers of students to and from school. SAM supports HB 355 and requests your support too. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Audette. Further proponents? Are there further proponents? Seeing none, are there opponents?
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee. For the record, my name is Bob Gilbert, G-I-L-B-E-R-T. I'm here today on behalf of the Montana School Bus Contractors Association. Representative Shaw is bringing a well-intentioned bill to this committee, and I applaud him for that. The problem we see is we're trading safety for savings. We're better off to sit down with the bus people in the interim, sit down with the school people in the interim, and draw up something that not only looks like a school bus, but is a school bus. Mr. Chairman, thank you for your time. I urge you do not pass this bill.
Thank you, Mr. Gilbert. Further opponents? Some further opponents? Are there further opponents? Seeing none, are there informational witnesses?
Hi, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee. Kara Sperle, S-P-E-R-L-E, School Finance Administrator for the Office of Public Instruction. I'm available for questions if you have any. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Sperle. Are there further informational witnesses? Seeing none, questions from the committee. Senator Pomnikowski.
Mr. Chairman, Mr. Hoffman, your testimony was pretty enlightening that there are plenty of opportunities and instances now where alternative vehicles, other vehicles other than the school buses are used. I'd like to know, how are they marked? Are there standards for these vehicles? Are they marked school transport? Do they have flashing lights when they stop? What's the deal?
Chairman, Senator, I don't know how to pronounce your last name, but
Pomnikowski.
Pomnikowski. No, there aren't any standards at all. We don't do any kind of stopping. They're just the same kind of car you probably drive. So all those factors that were discussed as a reason against it would be required in order to get the reimbursement, including the inspections by the Highway Patrol.
Okay.
Senator? Okay. Thank you, Mr. Hoffman. Further questions from the committee? Senator Brown. Further questions from the committee? Seeing none, the sponsor wish to close.
Mr. Chairman, committee, thank you for a great hearing. This bill makes all the sense in the world. I think we can all remember, at least some of us in here, maybe taking our kids to school in the front of an old Chevy pickup with two dogs and bouncing around in there and hollering, "Come on, kids, let's get to the bus." Well, maybe we weren't as safe as we could have been, but the vehicles we are going to purchase or use will be absolutely safe for these kids, and it will save us a ton of money. Thank you, Mr. Chairman and committee.
Thank you, Representative Shaw. That closes the hearing on House Bill 355.
Committees typically don't act on a bill the same day it is heard. House Bill 355 waited 9 days until a motion was made to move the bill forward during the committee's executive action.
Mr. Chairman, I will move a do concur on House Bill 355 by Representative Shaw, an act including certain vehicles in the definition of a school bus.
And then when you get it, Mr. Buttrey.
Well, Mr. Chairman, can I just make sure that Senator Brown has had her amendments prepared for this? This is the one that she was looking at additional amendments.
Senator
School bus
Brown, were
bill.
you going to amend this bill?
No.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Chair, I would move, do concur Amendment 35503.ALS.
Senator Buttrey.
Mr. Chair, members of the committee, I had same concerns as some of you that we wanted to make sure that this bill was not being utilized in an unresponsible way. So what this amendment does is says that the trustees of a school district actually may not purchase one of these vehicles to use as under the new school bus definition until they've done an analysis looking at the costs associated with purchase and operation of this new vehicle compared to their costs existing for purchase, contracting, and operation of whatever school buses they're currently using. And that they have to adopt a written finding that the purchase and operation of this new definition of school bus is the most cost-effective means of transporting eligible transportees on that bus route.
Thank you, Senator Buttrey. Discussion on the amendment. Senator Brown.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I think the senator from Great Falls is trying to clean this bill up a little bit, but, I mean, I don't know how many people attend your school board meetings, but many people, unless they're the union people or somebody being honored by the school district, I have concerns that they're going to conduct that analysis, they're going to write a finding about it, and then nobody's going to know about it until it already happens and somebody calls up and says, hey, what are all these little buses doing running around town?
Further discussion on the amendment? Seeing none, call question. Let's try a voice vote on the amendment. All those in favor of the amendment to House Bill 355 signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign.
No.
No. Senator Brown, no.
Senator Gross votes aye by proxy.
Mr. Chairman, I move House Bill 355, do concur as amended.
Okay, discussion on the bill. Senator Brown.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Like I say, I totally understand this. If this goes forth, I think we need to do a lot of education in our districts because these are permissive monies. They don't have to say, are you for this or against this? They're going to talk about it in a public meeting, but many times the public is not at that meeting in small areas across Montana. That's problematic for me until we get a workable solution. I'll call for the question.
Question's been called. Let's try a roll call vote.
Vice Chair Fitzpatrick?
Yes.
The motion to concur on House Bill 355 failed, and the committee tabled the bill. A week later, however, the committee reconsidered its action, amended the bill again, and passed it out of committee for consideration by the full Senate. On March 28th and 29th, the Senate approved the bill unanimously on second and third reading. After the House concurred with the Senate's amendments, the governor signed HB 355 into law on April 20th, a little more than 2 months after its journey began.